Hey, what's up guys? It's Ray just bringing you another Modern Warfare 3 gameplay. Today I'm going to be playing some Domination here on Bootleg. I'm going to be running the MP7 with the attachments proficiency. I'm going to have the red dot and the silencer attachments with Sleight of Hand, Quick Draw Pro, and Stalker Pro as my perks today. But the reason I'm making this video is I wanted to talk about, the subject that a lot of people come to YouTube to watch Call of Duty videos for is just how to get better at Call of Duty in general. Because I know when I first started playing Call of Duty, which was in Modern Warfare 2, I never played COD 4 or World at War just because I did not have an Xbox until right before Modern Warfare 2 came out. So, and I was actually one of the many Christmas noobs in Modern Warfare 2. I was, horrible. I couldn't hold a one-kill death. And the only reason I won games was because all my friends, or a lot of my friends before, had played COD 4, and they're really good players, and they still are some amazing players. But it drove me nuts. I didn't like not being good at Call of Duty, just because, it was something me and my friends did together, and I was kind of a drag on the team. So I wanted to just talk about how I got better at the game. And a lot of it was, I did watch a whole lot of YouTube videos of commentaries kind of like this, talking about how to get better and, learning lines of sight and kind of watching people earn the big kill streaks, which I couldn't do at the beginning, and be like, they're watching just their play styles. But, and I would say the first big tip that you need to know is, if you don't already know this, learn the maps. This is the most important thing you can do to improve your play. And when I say know the maps, I mean have a full mental image of the map in your head. Like almost every single map in Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and Modern Warfare 3, I could probably still just spawn in a random spot, and if you told me where to go, I could walk to that spot backwards without looking. And that's kind of goofy to say, and it's weird, but knowing the map that well will make you so much, or a much better player, just because the ability to back behind cover while shooting at people, or taking cover and gaining the advantage in a gunfight if you're the one without cover, or being able to run away, which that's another thing, is it comes with time of playing the game, but knowing which fights you need to run away from. If you come around a corner and someone's shooting at you from behind cover, and all you can see is the very top of their head, and you're standing out in the open, if you have the opportunity, run away, hide. And this is one of those things that is hard to get used to, and hard to learn when you should and when you shouldn't, because if you run away at the wrong time, you'll end up just getting shot in the back and losing a gunfight you were never in. But it definitely allows you to avoid, it gives you the ability to get to these high kill streaks and have a high kill death, and to earn things like a Moab or an Osprey, because if you watch almost any of the videos where anyone gets a Moab, there's a lot of times where they end up running away from a gunfight. And that's because, not because they're a bad player, or they were, afraid they were going to lose because the other player was better. It was just the other player was in a better position. And, why fight a gunfight where they have the advantage if you can avoid it? The second big thing I wanted to talk about is, it kind of goes along with map knowledge, is understand the game types you're playing. I play a lot of Domination, and that's on purpose. One, because I really enjoy Domination. But the best way to get good at any game type and really learn and understand the map is just playing it a whole lot. And that's because with Domination, the more you play it, the more you learn the small things about the game. Like if you own A and B, where are they going to spawn? Well, yeah, they're going to spawn on C, but where are the C spawns? Depending on where your team is, what C spawns are they going to spawn in? These kind of little things. Also, what points you want to hold. Like on this map, I know me and my team like to hold B and C and stick them at A, which we think is the best way to play this map. But, your team may be different. You may want to hold A and C and stick them over at B, or whatever. And it changes depending on each map. So it's one of those things you learn from playing a game type and not just switching game types every other day or every other game. And this also applies to weapons. I know some people, and I watch a lot of people who every game use a different weapon. You know, one game they're using a sniper, and one game they're using an SMG, and then a assault rifle, and it's always a different assault rifle. What this does is you end up being okay with a whole bunch of different weapons, but what I would rather do is be really, really good with a couple of weapons. And I'm not saying don't, try different weapons or anything like that, but when you find a weapon that you like, use it a lot. Use it on every level. Don't say, oh, this weapon's good on this map, after you've used it just a few times. Stick with it for, a week. Use it on every single map. Learn where in the map you can take advantage of, of the weapon's power. Like the MP7 is one of my favorite weapons just because it's so well-rounded. It's good in almost every situation. Same with the ACR. I actually recommend, if you find a weapon that's good at every range, I would use it just because it allows you to not need a secondary, really, because you can switch between fighting a long-range fight to a short-range fight without changing weapons or doing anything like that. And but like I said, please pick one or a couple of weapons and stick with those, and eventually you'll end up learning what maps they work best on, and you can kind of take advantage of it that way. But one way I recommend doing it, I have a friend who every prestige, he just picks a new weapon and he uses that gun for the entire prestige. His first prestige, he used the SCAR the entire time. Then he used the ACR. Then he used the Type 95. Then he used, I think it was the G36C, and he just used it for the entire prestige. And what this does is it allowed him to learn the weapon, learn how it kicked, learn which attachments he wanted to use on it, which proficiency he wanted to use. And if you're able to control the kick of your gun better than your opponent is, then you're going to win the gunfight a lot more often. And that's one of those things you just get from getting used to the gun and learning how the gun works. So I'd really recommend picking a couple of your favorite guns and just sticking with it. And this brings me to the what I believe to be like the cardinal sin of ever getting better is trying to get better by using bad weapons intentionally. People will gimp themselves by picking, oh well, the MP5K is awful. I'm gonna use this, and what this does is it gives you a mental excuse for not getting better. If you keep losing games or you keep losing fights, you end up blaming the guns because they're bad. And what this does is you're not looking to improve yourself at that point. You're just saying, well, I only lost this because I picked a bad gun. And if I was running a good gun, then I would win this every time, which, a lot of times really isn't the case. And I've heard a lot of people, make that like, oh, if you weren't running a try-hard class, I would win. To me, there's no reason not to, try hard. That's that whole idea of being a try-hard drives me nuts because, yes, it's Call of Duty is something I do, it's something I enjoy doing, and I want to be good at it, and I like to win. And when it comes to comparing whether or not you're getting better, I actually like looking at kill death to see how well you're playing. Kill death's a great way to describe, a lot of people are like, what's more important, your kill death or your win-loss ratio? I would definitely say win-loss is always going to be much, much more important. But just to kind of use a football analogy, since the Super Bowl was this last Sunday, kill death is kind of going to be like your yards. You need yards to win the game, but they don't win you the game. Scoring the field goals or the touchdowns are what actually wins you the game. If someone fumbles the ball and scores after running 1 yard, then he may have only run 1 yard, but it's still much more important than getting 99 yards without scoring any points. A great example of this is I've played a lot of really close games with people where they end up having something like a 3 or 4 kill death against us, and we are close to negative or close to a 1 kill death, but we won. I mean, yeah, I would have loved to have the 3 kill death and 1, but I'm never going to take that higher kill death over the win. And just to kind of recap things to do to get better, know your maps, know your game types, know your weapons, Don't gimp yourself, and kind of look at wins is the only true goal. But this has been Raid Jess. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and y'all have a great day.